you wanna see a show but don't know what to say, tune in now to the Love Taps. Love Taps, baby. Love Taps, baby. They're laying down information you need. Everybody's listening, tell you what you're missing, baby. Funky Love Taps. Funky Love Taps. The Love Taps is a little old place where we can get together. Love Taps, baby. Love Taps, baby. Love Taps, baby. Love Taps. Love Taps, baby. Love Taps. Oh yeah, I'm talking about the Love Taps. Oh, love.
Hello, you're listening to the Love Tap Show, Las Vegas Theater Arts production show. Everything you would like to know about theater in Las Vegas funneled directly into your ear holes.
Or the information you would love to know.
Oh my.
Well, okay, alright, so the reason I don't, what did I say?
I don't know, you said but I wanted to change it up right now.
Okay.
Max is feeling romantic.
I don't want to assume that they would love it, because we often talk about things that nobody gives a shit about. And so this is kind of a nice middling kind of choice.
So it's in with
Yeah,
us.
where, you're more likely to like it than hate it, but not as likely
very
to love
unlikely
it.
to love this.
You're very, exactly.
But there's a chance, and Max is a dreamer, so that's why he said it.
Right, and if you've been listening to the show long enough, you know that you're not likely to love it. So.
And you probably also can hear the difference in the sound tonight.
Yes, and also the fact that that we are foregoing video today.
That's also noticeable.
Yes, so two big noticeable differences in the show, and not because we had so many technical difficulties last week, but because we are on location today.
We are.
On the set.
And not in my house, with just the three of us.
Yeah, it's on the set of Talk Radio.
And we have other people with us today. Super excited.
Because we have the cast of Talk Radio.
Minus the Wades. We don't have the Wades here.
The Wades, yes.
Yeah.
Rick and David, yes.
Yeah.
They're not
And
here.
this would be really crowded if they were here.
Yeah, thank you for specifying that, because they know, everyone that's listening knows the full cast of Talk Radio.
Of course.
And therefore would automatically assume that Rick and David would be here.
They would have felt their absence. I think they still will. I'm just saying, shout out to the Wades.
Great, I'm
I
Ben.
like them.
I'm Max.
I'm Karalyn.
We're your hosts.
As always.
Great show. Great
So far,
pod.
so good.
So far, so good.
Excited. So excited. We do actually have a lot of stuff to talk about today. Obviously, like I said, the cast of Talk Radio. We also have current events, as always, and a review of Heather's the Musical.
Oh yeah, we all saw it. Oh,
Well,
two
Max-
of us saw Heather.
Do I need to recap Becky, or are we just going to...
Oh yeah, we should also recap just a touch on Becky Shaw,
Okay,
because our technical difficulties last week.
Abbreviated version.
I'm very sorry about that. We reviewed it, and then technical difficulties did not allow it to be broadcast.
And I have to review it in front of...
One of the cast members.
Yep.
That's okay. We've done that before.
Yep, that's true.
I remember. I think that we berated a ragtag show right in front of Andrew Wright one time.
I think we did a Insurgo right in front of John
Bean.
John Bean talked back to me about a review. That's what it was. Yeah.
Fair enough.
He agreed with me, at least. Yeah.
Oh well, that's always nice.
Yeah.
That's always nice. But first, lots of places to find us: iTunes of the Love Tap Show, Facebook at facebook.com/LoveTaps. Please, if you have not done so already, like us on Facebook, on Twitter at LVTAPS, on Stitcher, the best place for listening to us on the go, on YouTube at youtube.com/LoveTaps.
Except today.
Well, no, I'm going to put this up there too.
Oh, just as an audio check?
Well, I'll put little pictures of us.
Oh yay!
And little
Stills
doodles.
from rehearsal.
Like
Ross is taking
the
a
photo
photo
right now,
That's a
which he's
great
going to
idea.
send me so I can put it up on the video.
Yeah.
Which is-
just
why do you think
leave
it's so
that
many?
one photo.
If you're gonna hold your poses that long, I'm gonna take that many pictures.
Nice.
So there will be a YouTube version of this. It just won't be as interesting to watch. However, I am still looking at the camera, which is great.
Yeah, keep doing that.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's kick off this interview, shall we?
Sweet.
Yeah, Ross and I just did a selfie, so we're happy.
Perfect.
We did
Yeah.
three, but we did three different poses. Unlike
Yeah.
you guys who did one long pose.
I did the same face, I think, but we'll see.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Send me all of those.
Okay.
So I don't use them.
Done and done.
Perfect. Okay, everybody. Well, welcome to the Love Tap Show. I guess we've got a lot of newbies coming on that have never been on Love Taps before. So welcome, glad to have you.
Not new
And
to
then-
the theater scene in Las Vegas, though.
Is that what I said?
No, you said newbies to the show, and then I was pointing out in a segue type comment after
Oh.
yours that you will know who they are if
Oh,
you're part
perfect.
of
How
Las Vegas
specifically
scene.
are you? Very well
Uh-huh.
spoken.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for clarifying that.
You're welcome.
You know what? Actually, there is now no need to talk about your theater history.
No, there absolutely is, but it's going to be fun for the listeners because now they're anticipating who it might be.
Because now they have context.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm here for you.
God. Oh, and then there's Anthony,
Yeah, he's
by the
always
way.
here.
Anthony Barnaby, who's...
I'm secretly on every episode.
Yeah.
I'm just not allowed to talk for most of it.
Exactly. We sometimes gag him.
So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting interview because...
You know what she's saying?
He likes it though. He's fine with it.
Yeah, I
What? Oh, totally,
Yeah.
totally. This is going to be an interesting interview because obviously we are either in the show or directing the show or stage managing the show. So we are going to try not to color it that way and be as objective as possible. Yeah?
Good luck with it.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, Max should not do any of the interviewing though, right? I guess it should just be...
Should be us, I guess.
I guess it should
Maybe
be
it should be
me.
mostly me because I have the least to do ish. Because I'm just the
Least
stage
creative
manager.
part?
Yeah. I'm
Sure.
just kind of administrative ish.
Okay, Karalyn, take it away.
Well, let's start with our newbies then. Let's start to my left, which no one can see, but Ross Horvitz is with us.
Ross, quick, move to her right.
Oh, there's so
Stop
many
running
chords.
around me right now.
Long-time
That's
listeners.
dangerous.
Long-time listeners, mark down your Love Taps bingo card.
Oh, you're so clever.
Karalyn says left or right of me.
Yeah, this is a bad choice me doing the interview, I think. But, Ross.
Great, your recommendation, thank you.
Yeah, Ross, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
As you noted earlier, before we were recording, we have talked about you on the show, but you've not ever been on our show.
You've been very flattering towards me to the point that I blushed in front of coworkers upon
Aw,
listening to your
that's
words.
Nice.
I think my greatest memory of ever watching Ross is the damn chest hair. Yeah.
I was already unbuttoning as you were saying that.
So, wait, so just tell me. I know that nobody can see this, and I wish we had video. The top line of your chest hair is so perfect.
It is very
Do
horizontal.
you groom that, or is that natural?
I get asked this a lot, and it's usually the first question people ask. I do groom, but not much. It's just like 2 or 3 little, like
Stragglers
right
and
there
shoulders.
hairs.
Oh, well, the love is gone. Then.
I could not do a full neck to chest beard. There would be a gap.
That's not how it works.
So
Okay.
Ben, you're disappointed that he doesn't groom more than that?
No,
I
I'm
think you'd be
I'm disappointed that he
impressed.
grooms at all.
Oh, I see. Well, it's
I
just
would
1 or 2 strands
just
of
love a
hairs,
perfect
though.
line. And in fact, since I've never actually seen his full chest, I imagine it's in the shape of a Superman S.
It absolutely. Oh, and the reveal
Well,
just
thank you for
happened,
that.
everybody.
There is a fantastic grouping of hairs right in the middle there.
Wow.
Like a Rorschach
Wow.
block.
I was actually studied psychology.
God, the one day that we don't do video is the one day we should have.
I just saw my daddy's face in Ross's chest. Is that right?
Through the radio, you heard
Yeah.
it. You guys are communicating across time.
Isn't that an Eric Clapton song? I'm pretty sure
My
that
daddy's eyes in Ross's chest?
Yeah.
I saw 3 monkeys
Ross's
fighting over
chest.
a chew toy.
Really?
Yeah.
Monkeys and chew toys.
Am I the only person who saw chest hair?
Yes, you are.
All right, I'm sorry. You had a question for him.
Well, I was just welcoming him to the show, but if you could also ask a question, I don't think that would be
Ask
so
the
bad.
normal question.
Well, we usually
first-
like to know a little bit about your background and how you got into theater.
First, we need to know what you're doing in the show.
I will be playing 50% of the people. I'm going to be playing the male callers, or at least the majority of them, in talk radio. So I get to do a lot of that talking.
That's fun because you get to change characters so often.
Yeah, I love doing characters. That's my favorite thing to do as an actor. So yeah,
And it's almost
I would
like
hope so.
almost like voice work, right? Like voiceover work, because we won't actually see you in the show. We'll just hear your lovely voice.
Well, you do get to see me a little bit,
Oh, true, a
but
little.
yes, the majority of the work is just vocals. So yeah.
It's just a blob of chest hair that talks.
Yeah.
Yes. But unfortunately, no one gets to see it because it's
No.
backstage.
Yes.
Well, we do the costume parade on Monday, so
Yeah.
just wait.
I can't wait. So tell us a little bit about how you got into theater. What was kind of that first moment where you knew you had to keep doing this?
I'm going to have to go with that stereotypical answer of it just always was there. Ever since I was a little kid, my dad got a video camera the week before I was born and started filming stuff. No audio, just when you listen
He
to
came
it.
out of the womb grapevine.
No, literally, it's incredible.
No, on a grapevine.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah. We were the first Vine. You have invented mine.
I feel like this is why Ben shouldn't talk, like in general. Just not in this interview.
You're the one conducting the interview.
Oh, so I should be able to keep a rein on him?
stop
His
fighting,
great
guys.
thoughts?
Control your guests, Karalyn.
Oh my god, you control your face right now, okay? Ross, tell us more about your background.
No, so my dad, he had a video camera. My sister and I would put on little sketches, little skits. We would sing to the camera, and in kindergarten we would put on little productions. And I just loved it since day one. I just like performing. I like entertaining. To me, it's about putting a smile on someone else's face. You can have a bad day, but you can turn on the TV or listen to a song or watch a movie, and that bad day just drops away by your favorite entertainer. So it's just great.
By the way, he's just reading his resume right now.
Yes.
I thought you weren't talking. It's
Nope,
hard for you.
that wasn't actually a
that
choice
wasn't-
anybody
that
made.
wasn't?
That was just a statement
Oh,
you made. It
all right.
never,
I see.
it never actually was executed.
Well, Ross, was there like a favorite role that you've had over your career that you could think of?
Oh, that's a toughie. I've had a lot of fun the past couple of years in Vegas. Bloody
Ellen.
Bloody,
Nothing, sorry.
Bloody Andrew Jackson over at Onyx was probably the most fun I've ever had doing a show, performing a show, just all around. It was just an incredible experience.
I gave one of my loudest reactions to something.
In
Yes,
Bloody Andrew Jackson?
he still mentions it to this day.
His reaction is still echoing through the halls of the Onyx.
It is, which they're working to fix. But
Never change, Anthony, never change.
Don't intend to.
All right, well, let's move on to another new person to our show, Miss Natalie Seneca.
Which side of you is she sitting on?
Everyone's to my left, actually, because we're sitting in a semicircle and I'm on the end.
Zeus is to your right.
Zeus is to my right, Pandora's in my lap, and the lovely Natalie is almost across from me, but still to my left. And so tell us who you play in our show.
I play Linda MacArthur, who is the assistant producer on the Barry Champlain show, Night Talk with Barry Champlain. And yeah, it's fun. I'm on stage almost the whole time, which is fun to kind of find things to do to keep me interested.
Absolutely.
And listen, it's kind of fun finding things to react to with the callers. And
That's very cool. And you get to spend a lot of time with Anthony in that back booth.
I do.
That's gotta be good.
We're garnering a new and flowering friendship.
Flowering. I like that there's flowers involved.
He's shaking his head.
I'm just acting. I don't know.
Are you though? Are you? I don't think most of that. I think most of that is Anthony. Like, all right, how can I entertain myself?
Oh my.
But I must say, one of my favorite parts of the show is watching you two just do the stuff you do back there. Anyway.
Sweet.
Yeah, it is kind of an unusual setting in a show because for those of you that don't know the play by Eric Bogosian called Talk Radio, which is the show we're doing, there is a back booth.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. You can always see into the back booth where the producer and Natalie and Anthony's characters are both there pretty much the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though there's other things happening in the studio in front of them. So that's kind of unusual. Has that been a challenge for you? Has it been fun for you, especially different than other shows? Anything remarkable about it?
I feel like I've done a couple other shows where you're sort of, you're sort of there the whole time. So it's interesting though because it's not stylized. It's not like Laramie Project where it's we made the choice to be on, or the director made the choice to be on stage the whole time, and it was stylized where you're either in character or not in character, so you're in a neutral when you're not on stage. So, but I do really like it because it's. You have to find things that are realistic to do to keep yourself occupied, and that makes sense in that world, which is really kind of fun.
I would think it would also be easier that you get to stay in character for pretty much the whole show.
Yeah.
You're not going off and being yourself and then having to reset and come back on. You're just kind of always Linda.
Yeah, it's
That's gotta be kind of fun.
it's sort of mentally tiring because you're just like focused the whole time, and you're like, okay, what am I doing now as Linda? Oh, she would do this now. Oh, it's time for Linda to get a coffee. It's sort of like changing your brain workings for an hour and a half or whatever.
That's cool. And have you always loved acting? Is it something you've always done?
Almost. I sort of had a hiatus between early high school and then when I started doing community stuff 4 years ago, I think. And it's something that I didn't realize was affecting me because not doing it was affecting me. And then when I started doing it again more recently, it's sort of, oh, how was I not doing this? Like, how was I living my life without having theater in it, having rehearsals all the time and having shows all the time? So it's really nice to be back doing it and keeping busy with it.
Fantastic. Do you have any favorite roles, or was there a moment for you in your early acting career when you kind of knew, like the light bulb went off and you knew it was something? Like when you came back to it, what was the show that you came back to that confirmed for you that yes, this is something you want in your life?
Well, it was actually an audition. I had sort of, after college, I sort of had kept tabs on, different companies doing shows, and I'd gone to see a couple of things really casually. And it was actually interesting. My boyfriend's a performer. He's a musician, and he went to school for theater. And he could tell that I would like light up anytime I talked about something theater. I worked at a summer camp for theater, and he'd be like, "Oh, you should like do that." And so I was sort of like, "Oh, maybe I'll audition. I don't know. It's kind of scary. I don't know if I want to do it." And he knew the stage manager on the particular show, and he told her that I was going to be there. So then I was like, "Oh, well, I don't want to lose face and not be there." So I went, and it was sort of like that like roller coaster moment where you're like, "Well, I'm doing it, so I'm there, I'm doing it." And then after I got over it, did it and got over it. And I didn't get cast, but the director sent me a really lovely email and was like, I couldn't use you in the show, but I'd like to work with you at some point. And that was like, really reaffirming, like, oh no, this is awesome. And so, that was kind of the moment where I was like, oh no, I need to keep this in my life, and I need to work on, being active in the community and getting out there, and yeah, the rest is history.
And you also stage manage, much like me. You kind of switch positions a lot of times in a show, stage manage a show, music.
Yeah. It's actually interesting because I hadn't really worked on a show with like a proper stage manager for a very, very long time. I mean, like high school, like it was like, I don't even know what they do.
Yeah, most of us still don't know what they do.
And I started working with Cockroach and just helping where I could, because I was like, I just want to do stuff. And the person who was supposed to be the production stage manager, something came up and she couldn't do it. So they were like, oh, you do it. I was like, I don't know how to do this. And so I just kind of researched it and talked to people and started doing it. And I did quite a few of their shows the first season at the Art Square space. And I'm pretty adept at it, so it kept getting me more and more shows, because good stage managers can be pretty hard to find sometimes. Which was really great. It was such a good way to meet people.
Wait a minute. That was not at all a dig at you. I'm sorry.
Oh, listen. I didn't take it as a dig. I just randomly like to
is that why you didn't flip me off?
Well, I just like to randomly flip you off sometimes.
All right.
As your stage manager. I just like to do it. That's what stage managers do. Right? It was part of the research.
No, I've said this to Natalie and other people many, many times. Natalie remains, no offense to anyone else, present company. Natalie's the best stage manager I've ever had.
Oh, thank you.
Now I have to add under there, now that I've seen her perform, and an equally talented actress.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard though, it's hard to say no to stage managing, because I do really love it, enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to focus on acting more and performing more. So it's hard to say no and say, oh, sorry, I cannot. I had to like make a rule for myself, and then I had to make a rule, like I'm only going to take on shows that I absolutely want to do. With a few exceptions, but
yeah. But it's also tricky when you get good at something.
Sure.
And then people keep asking you.
Sure. Yeah. So, but it's just great to be able to help in a lot of different capacities. Whether it's stage managing or acting or just coming in and being a support for an audition or a rehearsal or whatever.
Absolutely. I relate to that. I think it's something that Poor Richards does actually pretty well, is that we kind of take turns either being in shows or directing or stage managing. We try to swap up the roles quite often so that nothing ever gets stale, right?
And over here, one more. Introduce yourself for our audience, please.
I'm Rebecca Reyes, and I'm doing the female callers.
Okay, so you're countering this guy over here, Mr. Ross.
Yes.
Fantastic. Why don't you tell the audience a little about your theater background, how you got into theater?
I started getting into theater in high school. Well, I went to high school with Anthony.
Did you guys actually go to high school?
Yeah, we actually
Yes.
did shows together too,
Yeah.
which is really
That's
funny.
amazing.
Anthony went to high school. I did go to high school, yes.
Yeah. What high school did you guys go to?
We were-
A-Tech.
Yeah, the Advanced Technologies Academy, and the first play. So Rebecca and I, that high school did not have a theater program
For the longest time.
for the longest time, and my sophomore English teacher had said, "It's like, hey, I'm thinking about putting a theater thing together. If anybody's interested, please let me know." So I like ran up to the front of it. Well, actually, I think I was sitting next to her because I was a really bad student. And I was like, sign me up, let's do this thing. And then Rebecca also signed on.
So what show
And then,
did Teenage Anthony
so,
and Rebecca do?
What
so
show
the first play that we ever did was called Play On.
Oh,
Which
yeah, and I played
is-
the stage
You
manager.
played the stage
Director,
manager. Yeah. You're the
Yeah,
director. I played
You were right.
Henry Benish. His character is Lord Dudley. And
How do you remember all this?
this is the life I lead.
Always looking backwards.
Always.
Okay, to Anthony's defense,
Oh
my
god, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. Oh my god.
Anthony laughed. I just watched the levels on that screen go up.
Yeah, but
There's only so much I can do with my
he
body
did try
position.
to face his face away from the mic, though. I gotta give you credit. I never think to do that.
Doesn't matter. He
amazing,
could
though.
face China and would still pick it
Yeah.
up.
That's amazing that you guys have a little history, though. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
And-
you don't know this, but I still have a piece of the set that everybody signed. Your signature is on it. So
I wish you could see our faces right now.
We're all pretty amazed. Yeah, that's cool, though.
So that's
So,
our
Rebecca, so since the show Play On with Anthony, have you done other theater in town?
nope. This is it. Second play.
What else would we maybe have seen you in? Besides, recently, we know you were in Becky Shaw, yeah?
Yes, I did Becky Shaw. I've done Anne Frank like 18 times.
Of course. Of course.
So there's that. I was in New York for 2 years.
Oh my
so I did,
God.
like, little stuff there,
That's
cool.
awesome.
but- Yeah.
Very
I was
cool.
gonna say, when you mentioned Anne Frank, I was gonna say as in the Gestapo, and I almost said gazpacho. In the gazpacho is what I was gonna say.
Yes, it was
Oh,
so I know.
Just
The
so
play is served cold.
Yeah, it must be at a certain temperature. Well, that's cool. We're happy to have you on the show and in our play also. Should we talk to Max and Anthony then?
Yes.
Tell us what you're doing in the show, boys. Max, you go first.
Okay, I'm playing Barry Champlain, the radio talk show host. I
I don't know why Anthony finds that funny. I'm not sure.
Max is the lead. Make Anthony follow the lead.
Yeah. I just went with it, whatever. And yeah, I am on stage almost the whole show.
Indeed.
Also, I'm also talking almost the whole show.
Okay,
did have a lot of
let me
things
just
to
say,
say.
Anthony does have the most stage time.
He
Oh,
does.
Therefore, it does make sense that he would be
I
last.
leave exactly once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry. Continue.
That's all I had.
Okay, good.
So, how has it been? So far.
I've actually done a lot of shows where I'm always on stage. This is just the most talking I've had to do with it.
Even Dick Johnson, you talked a lot in that one too. Maybe he's
I
more
loved
ensemble.
that
leader.
Always
one.
on stage.
I'm always on, but I wrote that one, so it was a little different.
A little easier to memorize.
What I go to is Bible abridged. I'm on stage almost the whole time, but it's split up by 3 people, so that was a little easier.
Yeah.
So maybe this is your biggest challenge as far as just memorizing script to date.
Yeah, I think it is.
Well, kudos.
It's also twice as long as the Dick Johnsons that we've done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
So
is.
we're hoping he will be off book by the second week.
Yeah. You mean second week of performances?
Yeah.
Closing night.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, tonight will be the
That's
best
the
show.
plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who do you play in our play?
I play Stu Noonan, and my job is to sit in every chair on the set.
You don't sit in my chair though.
I absolutely
Yes,
sit
he
in your
does.
chair.
You should.
I
So
sit
you
in
leave.
100% of the chairs of this play.
I'm gonna have to pay attention tonight to see
God.
when you sit in
Yeah.
Barry's chair.
See,
And
now-
I feel like you also touch every microphone.
I touch everything.
Yeah, you do.
Every prop, every chair, every
Not
microphone,
everything.
every knob, every. Well,
You
Ben
never
hasn't
know.
been watching too closely.
The friendship has been blossoming. You don't know.
I feel like you've now built this expectation for the audience that there's like 30 chairs in the show.
There could
Like chairs.
I feel like there's only 5 chairs. 4.
There's 4
Four
chairs.
4 chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe me, I've counted them.
Oh yes, because you sit.
It's all I think about. It was just
It's just the chairs. Is that what you're doing back there?
Which chair do I belong in?
Killing time thinking about chairs. Nice.
Wait, do you sit in Barry's chair? Oh, at the top of the
I
show.
sit in every
At the top of the show.
chair.
I like how nobody believes you.
Why would nobody believe
I'm not
There's only
questioning
4 chairs.
I just couldn't remember the Barry's chair.
Alright, Ben. I'm gonna ask you some questions now.
Okay.
If you do what you want, you want to do straight answers, you want to be a big old contrary jerk like you always are, it's up to you. I'm kidding, you're not a jerk. That sounded
I'm not setting up
harsher
the
than I
stakes for this at all.
I didn't mean for it to sound so harsh.
Just ask the
There's
questions.
a lot of drama here.
So, how is it like, what is it like working with the best stage manager in town besides Natalie? That's me, by the way.
I like that.
Technically, still working with the business.
I should add, I've never been a stage manager.
That's true.
I'm just going over in my head all the great stage managers I've ever worked with.
But you've done audio for us, Anthony. Let's just stop listening to Ben's answer. I'd rather talk to you, actually.
Yeah, I've done audio and visual stuff.
Yeah, so you're also a multi-talented Renaissance man of PRP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does a lot of stuff.
Did you think of anything, Ben, while we were kids?
I actually forgot the question. But what I would like is to just briefly talk about the show itself and let the audience know a little bit about the show.
Tell us about talk radio, sir.
You know, I think I will do that. Thank you for
You're
bringing that
welcome.
up. So Talk Radio is a show that takes place in the late 80s. It is about a radio talk show, shock jock, based out of Cleveland, kind of on the eve of his show going into national syndication. It's kind of a shock to him, and the big wigs at the Metro Scan station that's picking them up for national syndication is listening on this night, and this happens to be the night where shit hits the fan.
A lot of it.
And I don't want to put many spoilers out there, but there's some very interesting callers, played by the people that we mentioned earlier, and it's really a fascinating journey of discovery to see where Barry takes this and how Barry is affected by these people. So really, the story is one night, one scene.
So it's sort of like the audience is tuning in for the show that night.
That's pretty much exactly what it is with backstage peeks, behind the curtain peeks. Because when you break for commercial after a particularly strange caller, you'll see what happens between the people that work on this show. If it's panic, if it's anger, how they react to the presence of danger based on someone just calling you on the telephone. And it's pretty fascinating. So
Cool.
yeah.
And you have often directed for PRP, no? There's been a couple of things that you've directed.
Sure.
What
Yeah.
other things have you directed?
Well, the first thing I directed for Borges Players was Adventures in Mating.
That was also. Oh, that was the most intense for me to learn. That one.
That's true.
Is that the one that had like 30 different endings?
60 possible endings. It was a choose your own adventure play, and the audience picked what happened. And it was 3 people, mostly Max and Brian Janae, and they had to memorize all the different endings. And that was an interesting show to direct. Then after that was that one weird one-act thing that we did. I can't
Did you
remember.
direct that one?
I did.
Worst play in the Fringe.
Worst play in the Fringe. That was terrible. That was actually the worst play in the.
Was it intentionally the worst play, or
No,
was
it just I had ideas that didn't really pan out so well, but it was worth a try, and it was fun.
no risk, no reward?
Right, exactly. Took a break from directing with us, and then I ended up I directed some stuff outside of Poor Richards, and then directed Red, which was probably my outside of talk radio.
Your favorite?
My favorite directing experience, and not because it made me happy, because it was honestly the most upsetting experience of my life, but it took me places working with those people that I'd never been before, and I feel like informed me as a director. And then from that went to Virginia Woolf. Then it's been a year and a half.
Don't forget Dealer's Choice was in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, and there was
That was
Dealer's
my
Choice.
first review.
There was Dealer's. That's right. You reviewed Dealer's Choice on this show. Yeah, there was Dealer's Choice, which was a fun show, very fun show
Super
to do. Which you stage managed with.
Was
me.
that the start of our director-stage managerial relationship?
That was the
No.
start, and also what I anticipated as the end.
almost
of our director.
when you dropped that radio on my head.
Did not drop a radio on your
Did.
head.
Well, you were carrying the shelf it was on. I
As
feel
were
like
you.
Yeah, but
We
you
were
tipped
both
it.
carrying
You
the.
tipped it. Supports me.
You took the shelf through a doorway, and there was a radio on top of the shelf, and it got knocked over and hit you in
I
the
feel like
head.
because
You guys have the worst friendship.
best friendship. We're like siblings.
You know what's funny? We've gotten along so well.
Actually,
show
we're gonna jinx it now,
up
but
until
this show has
today.
been probably our best show.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
tried to kill each other yet.
I'm now terrified.
Yeah,
Jeez.
you guys should be.
So there was Dealer's
Technique's
Choice.
coming up.
Then there was Red. Then
Yeah.
there was Virginia Woolf, and then I haven't directed anything for like a year and a half. I forgot how to direct, and I came back and did this show.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
Now, how about some questions about directing your friends, especially Max? You guys have known each other forever. Does that make it easier or tougher?
Both. There are moments. There are moments when it's easier because I feel like I know Max really well, and I know the things that he's capable of, and I know where his wheelhouse is. But there are other times where I feel like, especially if I need to push him, even though I know he can take it, I hesitate.
For the same reasons.
For the same reasons, yeah. I hesitate because I'm confident that he'll get there without me, but I also feel like the artist inside me needs to be like, listen, get your shit together and do it. You know what I want you to do. Sometimes I want to say it, and this is very therapeutic for me. Thank you very much.
No problem. Go ahead.
Wait, I asked you this awesome question, and you just thanked Max?
No,
What are you
I'm
doing?
thanking him for allowing me to do this in front of him.
Oh, all right, fine.
Instead of normal couples therapy, which we've tried, which isn't working.
Fair enough. Continue.
I wish the two of you would come and see me again, because it's been a long time since our last segment.
Anthony, I didn't know you offered therapy. I would
Just to
take you up
these
on that.
two, I can't schedule anyone else. These two are
Well, can you at
so
least
hard
do
to work
Ben
with.
and I?
Now-
At least Ben and I should come and see you together.
Yes, that would be great.
Means more than one doctor.
I do believe,
Right.
although I've worked with Anthony many, many times, I do believe this is the first time I've directed Anthony. And let me tell you,
As an actor, yes.
as an actor,
Yes.
right? I've been a director, and he's done other things involved in the show. But let me tell you, this is the most aggravating and the most fun thing because he is me.
I know it.
When we freaking did all the Dick Johnsons and anything we've ever worked together, we've given each other so much shit.
Oh, yes.
And honestly, the road to our awesome friendship now has been rough, but we got here. Thank you, Anthony. I'm holding your hand.
I'm still driving.
I like how this became like
This
a
is a
therapy
threesome.
session.
We're now a
This is
threesome
really
session. So it's so fun. But listen, his instincts are fantastic, and he's fantastic to work with. And then I've got 3 people that I've never worked with before, which is just so awesome, especially because they're all so freaking talented. And directing this show is super, super easy. It is one of the easiest shows.
And don't forget the Wades. I like those Wades.
And then the Wades, and I've worked with both of them before as
And
well.
we've known them for so long. In fact,
Yeah.
I was just talking to Rick and David about how David is now kind of a real fully fledged adult human being for
Right.
the first time. Like he's approaching 18, and I've known him since he was 13, and it's just
Right.
those are big years from 13 to 18.
So
that's fun. to see
David
that.
Wade happens to be, and I'm not exaggerating, the most talented kid I have ever met. And
Well,
not,
and here's I don't think we can call him a kid anymore. You know,
he's a kid.
he's a teenager.
He's a freaking kid.
He
He'll
can
always be a
almost
kid.
vote.
Always be a kid.
Let me tell you a little bit about David Wade. For those of you who don't know.
a little bit.
When I directed Seussical in my previous life, they were both in Seussical, by the way.
dark
I sent out a casting call for people with special talents, and this kid submitted a video. I kid you not, it wasn't a montage, it wasn't something cut together. He literally back to back. He was, and sometimes at the same time, he was riding down the street on a unicycle, juggling balls, then juggling these things, and he'd get off the unicycle, pick up a contact juggling thing, and do that, and then do a card trick, and then make the things disappear, and then he started jumping through fires and taming lions and all sorts of shit. It was this,
And then at the end, he flew away.
Yeah, he did.
it was 3 solid minutes of uncut video that was like 20 tricks back to back.
All in one take.
Well, I'm sure it was probably the 3rd take.
Well, no, but in a continuous take. is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it was continuous, right? Yeah. But I mean, it was incredible.
They
So,
are a bunch of cool peeps at that house.
yeah, for sure. And then there's Rick.
Then there's Rick. Anyhow, so Rick, I love you. Rick's probably actually going to be one of the only people that we talk about on the show that's going to listen to it.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say he's gonna be the only person listening to the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So I got to say nice things about Rick, but also because I love him dearly. Because we're in a band together called Space Karate. So
He's been on the show before.
Yeah, he's been on the show many times.
Yeah.
But I think he's doing a good job playing Dan in our show as
Yeah,
well.
Rick is also incredible. He's an imposing figure for sure, and
Especially next to me.
But he could just rely on his size, and he doesn't, and that's what I respect about him.
yeah, Rick is great. Rick is fantastic to work with. I really love working with him. So, what else you got?
I don't know. What else should we say about the show?
I don't know. We have probably 5-ish minutes
All
left
right.
to talk about stuff.
5-ish minutes.
You want to talk about the tech in the show?
Ooh, it's gonna be challenging. I'm a little afraid of the tech in the show because we're trying to make everybody on stage functionally tech friendly.
Right.
It's
So
gonna be tricky.
we're going super hyper realistic here with what we're doing. So yes, it takes place in a radio studio. We don't have anybody running sound in a sound booth like you would see traditionally in a theater piece. Everyone is running their own sound. That includes the callers calling in and the various microphones strewn about the studio, controlling, the
ad
sound
run,
cues,
when
the
the
ad
music
runs,
happens.
exactly. All of that stuff is actually happening on the stage, and not by someone in a booth, not by a stage manager calling the cues. It is live and before your eyes.
Which is exciting though.
I think it's cool.
Is anyone else shitting their pants?
And I'm
like
gonna-
I am?
I feel like this is a natural progression for me because doing the Extra Life stream that Happy Hour does every year, that is 24 straight hours of me not only hosting a show, but also trying to play games and also interacting with our chat and also setting mic levels and switching out video feeds and like doing all this like crazy stuff. So it seems only fitting that I would then have to play a a studio DJ
Producer.
character.
Yeah, if there's anyone I trust to push buttons and run a board, it's you.
No.
Yeah.
Agreed.
She said if. She said if there was someone.
Except for remember that one time where I told you don't push this button, and
No,
you're
you
like,
never actually said don't
No,
push this. You
I
said
said-
you won't need to
you
push this
shouldn't,
one.
you shouldn't push the button.
But what
And
you
then-
didn't count on was that I would want to push that.
Right. And did that work out well for you?
We hadn't started the show yet.
We were trying.
Well,
Anthony's actually run tech in 2 of my shows that
That's
I've
true.
directed, so
Yeah.
so this is actually still more progression of that.
Yeah, so like fuck it, I'll just do it on stage from now on.
and I think most of the responsibility of all this tech stuff falls to you and Max. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of
Yeah,
jobs
probably.
too.
Yeah,
Ross
for
and I
sure.
have it easy.
Yeah, we just have to not be loud.
Well, but you know what? You two do not have it easy. That's something I want to address quickly is the callers. So in the original production of this show, or even the Broadway production of this show, there are, what did I count? 5-6 people that play all the callers in this
I
show?
think originally it was at least around 4, I think.
Okay, somewhere between 4 and 6. That's the amount of people that play the 40 call. It's
Well,
not 40,
I
but
think
the,
I think there's like 26 or something.
Yeah.
It's somewhere between 25 and 30.
I write them down every day.
So
Yeah.
we'll say approximately 30 callers. So we have 2 people playing all these callers, with the exception of 2 voices that go
Yeah.
somewhere else. And it is incredible the amount of work that they have to do to keep these voices straight. And sometimes, like Ross will be up there and he will have back-to-back-to-back calls. All him. It's not going back and forth from Ross and Rebecca. It's Ross caller 2, Ross caller 3. All very different, all very specific voices. So the research that the both of them had to do, the way I've made them move their mouths,
In some cases, yeah.
it's literally, yeah. I mean, it's incredible that they can keep it all straight, and huge props to them. So I wouldn't say that you guys have it easy at all, except for the fact that you have virtually no blocking, and you get to sit down for most of the show. But other than that, it's pretty awesome. But I think that about the whole cast is really great, and done their research and gotten involved and really formulated their characters very well. And that's one thing that you've got to love as a director. That's my favorite thing.
Well,
We're supposed
that's half the battle as a director, right? Is choosing the people that you want to work with and
Oh,
who
yeah.
are going to do the job.
Oh yeah, and I love like people like this group, because my favorite thing about directing is the path to discovery, the path to finding those little things in everyone's personal performances, and everyone here was so receptive to my stupid shit that I make them do.
Well, I also will say one nice thing as we wrap up our interview is that I like watching you as a director because you're an actor first, I think, in your heart,
thanks.
you know,
Yeah,
and
sure.
so you tend to approach things in a very actor-friendly way and in a very respectful way to the people that. I mean, I've seen directors not respect the talent of their actors.
Yeah.
And that's not something that happens.
Wait. Don't get this wrong. I have zero respect for them.
Oh, fair enough. But you at least let them do their performance without a lot of my.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, but I will talk shit about them behind their backs so hard.
As you should.
Sometimes to our faces, yeah.
Yeah.
I go home and cry after every rehearsal.
As you should. Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's unrelated to Ben's technique. That's just,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're always looking backwards.
I'm just always looking backwards. It's just like, oh, I used to be happy.
All right, somebody tell us where and when we can see this fabulous show.
I don't know. The show's in the future, so I.
So Nancy doesn't know.
Oh my god. That was a reference to him not being able to look back.
Yeah.
Or being.
Oh, I got it.
Aw, did you just do my job and over-explain the joke, Ben?
Well, this one needed some
players
explaining.
does change
This
all
needed
their
some
roles and
explaining.
positions.
Which is actually a callback to something they talked about earlier.
Well done, Ross. Well done.
We're just gonna keep going down this.
Okay,
hole.
so where, when, how much? It is April 22nd through May 1st. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So the Sundays are matinees. They're all at the Fridays and Saturdays. I'm doing this the backwards way of doing it. Sorry. April 22nd through May 1st. Friday, Saturday, Sunday with Sunday matinees. You can get tickets, which are $20 at PaulRichardsPlayers.com or at the door.
And where is that door going to be?
The door will be at the Fern Adair Conservatory for the Arts.
Yes, that's
otherwise
our
known
pronunciation.
as Conservatory, which
Yeah.
is very hard for me to say.
Which is exciting because it's our first time being in this space.
Yeah, I think it's their first fully staged play that they've had there, which is really cool. So I feel like we're pioneering
We're
a
blazing
new
the
area.
trail. We're blazing the trail.
So it's really cool. It's a really neat little space. So be there. Buy yourself some tickets.
Absolutely.
Go early because that place is right down the street from my office, and it is down to 2 lanes thanks to construction. So if you want to see
yeah,
this
it is.
show, make sure you pack it up. Be in your car by 12 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, by noon. Just take off early from work.
Yeah,
Leave at lunch.
12 in the
Put
afternoon.
up your.
I know what I said.
Put up your wagons.
Because that's actually midnight, I think. If it's afternoon and it's
No.
12, it's midnight.
Oh
We're
my
gonna have the
gosh,
Gremlins
no.
discussion because technically it's always after midnight.
Let's just say give yourself enough time to get there and come see our show.
Yeah.
And thanks for being on our show, you guys. You did great.
We also
Thank you for being our host, Karalyn, and leading us through this interview.
You're almost welcome. You're pretty much. You're almost. You're like 95% welcome.
Oh, I thought you meant you're all most welcome.
Oh, that is what I meant. That's much nicer.
Bail you out of
Can
it.
we
Thanks, Amy.
move on?
Yes. Of course.
Okay, let's do some current events.
Yeah.
Here are the events that are current, near or far, everything occurring. Here are the events that are current, near or far, everything that's happening now.
Current events. And just to make things more confusing, we're keeping the cast of Talk Radio.
Yeah. It's like a pre-rehearsal rehearsal.
Now you get to hear all of Ross and Rebecca's voices.
Could you please?
Well, not right now.
Okay. Yeah.
You'll
Fill
probably
me on
keep
the
going.
fly. So do what you will. You don't have to do them all.
First up is My Fair Lady by Frederick Lowe, or Frederick Lowe, and Alan J. Lerner.
lady.
Produced by Signature Productions, running until April 30th at the Summerlin Library, 1771 Inner Circle Drive, 89134.
All right, and next we have Heathers the Musical by Kevin Murphy and Lawrence O'Keefe. It's running April 7th through the 30th at Onyx Theater, and the address of that is 953 East Sahara Avenue, Suite, that's sweet,
Yep.
16B, 89104. And this one's based on the 1989 movie, which I hope you've seen because it's fantastic. And this off-Broadway hit pits a teenage misfit, teenage...
Oh, I don't know, maybe we're...
What happened?
It pits a teenage misfit against the original Mean Girls, the Heathers. So check that out.
And we'll be reviewing that shortly.
So this one is Kizzy in a Tizzy by Erica Griffin, produced by Current Theatrics. It runs April 16th to the 30th at McMullen's Irish Pub, which is at 4650 Tropicana Avenue. Endometriosis is an extremely painful disease that affects 1 in 10 women in the United States. Erica Griffin's dark comedy is a riff on the typical advice some doctors have given to women suffering from it. Getting pregnant will cure you is one of them. Unfortunately, Kizzy is a lesbian in a stable relationship with Gable, so she goes to some extreme lengths to resolve her sickness. And they involve a sandwich delivery boy named Jimmy Johnny.
It's a long-ass review.
Wow.
I mean, thing.
What?
I'm so glad I didn't get that one, because I'd be like...
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yep, a disease.
And also, they mentioned March was Endometriosis Awareness Month.
Oh,
So,
excellent.
It's as if they planned
That's
it.
perfect.
Okay then. Also coming up, History 101 by James C. Ferguson. That's the winner of LVLT's new work competition. You can see that April 22nd until May 8th at the LVLT Black Box, 3920 Shift Drive, 89103. History 101 is a collection of comedic history-themed scenes, monologues, and songs. Look which one Ross gets to do.
I know nothing about this. I'm reading this for the first time.
It had to be one of us.
Next up is Talk Radio by Eric Bogosian, which I hope I said correctly.
It's a reek.
Oh, it's Eric. Okay.
Eric.
Produced by Poor Richards Players, April 22nd through May 1st at the Fern Adair Conservatory of the Arts. I said conservatory the right way. Wow. 3265 Patrick Lane, 89120. This Pulitzer Prize nominated play chronicles the story of Barry Champlain, a Cleveland area shock jock on the eve of the radio show's national syndication. With a listening audience made up of primarily of insomniacs and nut jobs, one can expect his callers to be an even seedier sort. On this night, however, Barry's normally bulletproof worldview is challenged, providing just a glimpse behind the hard shell of his outward persona.
The first 3 sentences were verbatim what I said earlier, and I think I might have read that too many times.
Because that's verbatim from our Facebook event.
Right, which I wrote.
Right.
I like the seedier business. That was nice.
Yeah, it took me 4 hours to write that.
Kiss Me, Kate.
Are you asking, or?
I know you're listening. Kiss Me, Kate by Cole Porter, produced by the Nevada Conservatory Theater, April 29th through May
That's
8th
new.
at the Judy Bailey Theater at UNLV.
Stage reading, Fool for Love by Sam Shepard. Just kidding. Sam Shepard, produced by A Public Fit, April 29th. Doors open at 7 p.m. Performances start at... One performance, I'm sorry. I am so screwed. Performance starts at 7:30 p.m. at the Craft Acting Studio, 1800 Industrial Road, Suite 204, 89109.
Tuna Does Vegas.
Yeah, it does.
By Justin Williams, Joe Sears, and Ed Howard. Produced by LVLT, running May 6th to the 22nd at the LVLT main stage, 3920 Shift Drive, 89103.
Always look on the...
Bright side.
of life.
So next we have Bright Side by Ernie Curcio, Jelana Sampson, and Martin Kay. This is produced by Cockroach Theater, May 12th through the 29th at Art Square Theater, 1025 South 1st Street, number...
It's hard to write. It's hard to say. We've been doing that for 5 years.
And this one's in Suite 110, 89101. And these are local people that have written and scored it. So get out and see that.
Support some local playwrights, yeah. Ben, I feel a little bit manipulated into singing the intro into that entry. I feel like you tricked me into helping.
Did you not realize that's what was happening?
No, I wasn't looking at my phone.
Did you know you did it last time we recorded?
Probably. You could probably get me every time.
I didn't do that.
Well, she did.
Oh.
Yeah, I probably sang it.
Oh, but it was after
Yeah.
it was the reverse. Yeah, it was after it was said already.
I'm just saying.
Look at
It's a hard
those.
knock life.
For me.
The musical. For me, the musical.
Sorry, Rebecca, that's your turn.
No, it's fine. The next one is Titus Andronicus Jr. It's All With Little Kids by Troy Hurd at the Onyx Theater. It runs May 12th to the 28th. Onyx is at 953 East Sahara Avenue, Suite 16B, 89104. That should be an interest.
And that was also a local playwright, yes?
Yeah.
He wrote it all by himself, so go check it out. I don't know what
Let's
happens.
just move on.
Why would
Please,
you,
let's
why would
move
you
on.
give me a questioning face? You know I'm weird. Dixie's Tupperware Party is running from May 17th until the 22nd at the Troche Studio at the Smith Center.
And hey, if you're ever downtown on a Friday, $2.
Ongoing performances.
I was unaware of that setup. I apologize.
So there's no reason you should have known.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
$2 10 minutes curated by Cockroach Theater. It's every first Friday of the month. Performances start at 7:30 and go to 10:30 at Art Square Theater down at 1025 South 1st Street down there in the Arts District. And yeah, they're wonderful, fun, quick ways to see some good shows.
You want to read the price information?
There's more. I can scroll further. Each 10-minute play is $2 or $5 to see all of the shows.
Composer Showcase of Las Vegas, Wednesday, May 25th at 10:30 p.m. at the Cabaret Jazz at the Smith Center.
How do they keep writing so many songs? Every month, more songs. It's impressive, really. They've been running that Composer Showcase for years now.
Yep.
Just a heads up, we're going to have a couple visitors here in a moment. We've got the Wades on their way in.
We got to finish this podcast.
Audition time.
Auditions.
The Mystery of Edwin Drood. Book, music, and lyrics by Rupert Holmes. Produced by Heinz Sight Entertainment and Super Summer Theater. That's April 17th at 12 noon and April 18th at 7 p.m. That is, 12 afternoon? Is that what you said? I don't remember. Dance call and callbacks are April 23rd at 2 p.m. Prepare 30 to 45 seconds of legitimate Broadway standard. Please bring sheet music, no recorded music.
Sheet music for what you're singing, by the way. He doesn't mean just any sheet music.
God damn it.
Yes, Rick Wade has entered the building.
Remember that bit where I said, and then there's Rick Wade?
Yeah.
That's why.
That's
And the
And David's here
self-explanatory.
too. Yeah.
Anyway, please prepare 30 to 45 seconds of legitimate Broadway standard. Please bring sheet music. I already read this. No recorded music. Small stipend offered. These are the Super Summer Theater Studios at 4340 South Valley View Boulevard. Suite 204-89103 is the zip code.
Juju Goes to Pahrump by Erica Griffin, performing at the Vegas Fringe Festival. Auditions are April 18th and 19th at 7 p.m. Auditions will consist of cold readings from the script.
The next one is The Wiz, produced by Broadway in the Hood.
Sorry, you got a complicated one.
It's okay.
Yeah, you got a big one.
It's a whole page.
They're casting for singers and
Keep
actors.
scrolling.
The dates are April 30th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for youth age 9 through 17. Also April 30th, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. for 18 and up. May 1st at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. open call.
Yep, we read this every week, so. Yep.
May 1st, 4 p.m. principal and ensemble dance call. Prepare 2 songs of your choice, a ballad and an up-tempo. Bring sheet music in the appropriate key. Accompanist will be provided. You may bring a CD, MP3, or recorded track for your audition.
Are you making that face? Because why would someone bring sheet music in the wrong key?
This is about an octave and a half higher than I normally sing,
Some
but
people can transpose.
Yeah, but those people hate you.
A lot of people don't have no idea what key is it. What
It's
key is
true.
it? A lot of people will learn the song by rote and then print off sheet music that they've never read and bring it with them, and then they'll sing it, and it's 3 steps higher than they expected it to be.
Yeah, that's a big fear of mine with musicals. I don't want to deal with that. It's too
well, I
much.
apologize, musical directors, for my reaction.
They have callbacks by invitation only. All auditions are to take place at the Smith Center. They're also seeking specialty and circus acts, so call audition number for audition time. Production runs September 2nd and 3rd. Rehearsals begin mid-July. For more information, call 702-482-8777 or email thewizlasvegas@yahoo.com. Who still uses Yahoo? That's my big question.
That's my junk mail.
Broadway in the Hood.
Okay.
That's good clarification.
Wonderful,
Callbacks by
people.
invitation only, because sometimes I just show up and I'm like, I'm here for my callback, and they're like, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Rick Wade.
Can I also,
I think we need to add a bitch to the end of that.
yeah, can we
David-
also point out that David went into full-on trick mode as soon as we mentioned specialty acts?
Yeah.
Oh, I was reading, so I didn't get to see
We
it.
Yeah.
briefly mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Ben told us about your audition video for Susical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
High
so you're
quality
famous.
stuff.
Do you still have that video?
I bet we do. Yeah.
Dad says yes.
David does a lot of radio quality kickboxing.
And you can see why we like working with them.
You should cut that video into this podcast.
I would love to. Can you reset that video?
Watching him
That is
perform.
exactly what I thought when I asked that
Yes.
question.
Ray ends the video with David Wade out.
Yes.
Double birds.
Next one.
Next audition, do it.
Peter and the Starcatcher by Rick Ellis. It's May 2nd and 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m. at LVLT, which is on at 3920 Shift Drive. Performances are July 15th through the 31st. Auditions will consist of cold readings from the script. Everyone auditioning should prepare a song that they feel best shows their voice. For more information, go to lvlt.org.
Applications are also still available for the Vegas Fringe Festival. You can go to lvlt.org for more details and an application. If you have any other current or upcoming events that you would like to have listed on our show, send them to Benjamin. His email address is benjamin@lovetaps.com. That's BENJAMIN @lvtaps.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Benjamin.
Yeah.
That's current events.
We did it!
Yay! Thanks,
We still
everybody.
have to do a whole review. We gotta eat pizza before rehearsal. We're never gonna make it. We're never gonna make it.
You know what? Rehearsal's canceled.
Yay!
That's not a
No,
wise
it's
choice.
not.
I'm on the book.
We left
not
a
a
party
wise
in our
choice.
house with a lot of beer, so we could just move rehearsal there.
Yay!
Perfect. Time for a theater review.
Oh, we're recording.
Yeah, we are.
What? It's the theater review show time thingy.
Theater reviews.
Here we go in 10.
It's actually 20.
Is it 20 this time?
It's 20 this time.
20. Yeah.
Live and 20.
Nice.
Very.
And 3.
Very.
2.
And we're live in 5.
Want me to do mine real quick?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Okay,
Ben.
yeah. Just review Becky Shaw.
My apologies.
I thought you were gonna do your
Becky
time
Shaw
code.
review got corrupted or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll just try to do a quick 1-minute review.
Rebecca has the whitest knuckles I have ever seen.
Starting now.
Go.
It was a really
You've
fun
already wasted
show.
3 seconds. Shut up!
Stop helping.
Why are you still here?
Why are we still Why are we actually timing this?
You said a 1-minute
I said about a 1 minute.
I already wasted a minute talking about
Well,
it.
but you're 15 seconds in now.
You have 45 seconds left in this review.
I'm not gonna stay to
45
my own.
seconds left,
I'm not
Aaron.
gonna.
You challenged yourself. Nobody expected this of you.
You didn't expect anyone else to talk.
Guys, just let us do
not
this
let
review.
All right, go ahead.
I saw Becky Shaw a couple weeks ago. I happened to see it with the understudy Rebecca Reyes in the titular role. Overall, I thought it was a great show. The set was beautiful. I have a problem with the script in that it's bad people being bad to each other, and it's just not a particular script that I enjoy experiencing, and that. So it kind of took away my enjoyment from it. But overall, all the performances were great. I did really like the active character transitions, which were really nice since all the actors were doing them. And the crowd really seemed to enjoy it. It was a really active Saturday matinee crowd, which is not something you would normally put together in a sentence. But my script issues aside, I think everyone else would probably have enjoyed it had it not already closed by now.
Yeah, but good show, you thought.
On the whole, yeah. I thought it was really well produced. I don't like the story.
Yeah.
That's my general review of it.
Fair enough.
So when we lost the full review, I posted a little picture in the YouTube thing. Oh, it was a scrolling thing that said, "Sorry, technical difficulties, but we loved it." That was it. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this review will not get technically difficultied out of this show.
No, I don't think so. Speaking of technical difficulties, no, I'm kidding. Oh, I'm
funny.
sorry. Heather's the Musical is the next one that we are reviewing. I don't know why I'm showing the camera that's not recording video today.
But it's a lovely program. Actually, I do like their artwork on the
Yeah, it's pretty
production
good.
design on the
It's pretty
program.
good.
It's
Yes.
sweet.
Heather's the Musical, which Karalyn and I saw together. Let me preface this by saying that I have not seen the original source material.
I have seen the movie. quite
Great,
a
so
few
good. We can
times.
have different perspectives here.
We can. Did
Would you-
anyone else in the room see it yet?
Yes.
I was helping out with rehearsals for a while, so I saw kind of the early bits, and then a week before open, I saw the second act.
All right. So
now-
if anyone wants to chime in, feel free.
Yeah.
I sat in front of you. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, we were there the same night.
Yeah, now I know we all have friends in the show. We always have friends in the show, and we always have friends producing the show. And we don't usually review shows in front of this many friends of people involved in the show, but we're going to do it anyway. So,
We try to still remain objective, though. We try not to have any bias. I mean, it's impossible as human beings, but we do our best.
right.
Yeah.
You want to start?
No.
I guess I will start.
And it's going to be interesting for me because we have not had a conversation about the show. Usually we talk about the show after.
We talked very briefly about it.
For like a second and a half.
That would be very briefly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me first go through some of the cast and production staff and whatnot here. So Heather's the Musical, the book, music, and lyrics by Kevin Murphy and Lawrence O'Keefe, based on the film written by Daniel Waters. Thanks, Zeus.
Zeus hates
Anyway,
Sprite.
starring Brenna Folger as Veronica Sawyer, Maverick Hugh as Jason J.D. Dean, Katie Hurd, Amanda Kraft, and Lene Myers as the Heathers, the three of them. And, I mean, it's a pretty large cast here, so I won't go through everybody, but those are the most notables. Directed by Troy Hurd, music director and keyboard programming by Halsey Harkins, choreographed by Katie Hurd, stage manager Corey Koval. Let me see, where's the scenic and lighting design by Todd plus Brian, and costume design Carrie Byers, sound design Don Parnell. Okay, so let me say this first. This type of show, and I've said this many times, I go to see these types of shows at the Onyx, are not my bag. Okay.
What do you mean by what type of show?
I'm not like the like campy parody type shows of other types of source material. I'm not usually a huge fan of.
Yeah, this one was not. I'll try not to correct you, but it wasn't so much a parody as it was true to the original source material.
And that
but
I know.
doesn't change it not being your type of.
And that I understand. It is, but I guess my point of that though is that it is very campy, and because that it was, there was for me, there's no way around.
Yeah,
that.
but that's the movie. So in essence, they did a good job portraying the camp of it.
Sure. Now, one thing I will follow up with that is that if, and this has always been my biggest critique of shows like this, if you're going to do a campy show, you need to nail it. It needs to be spot on, visually, performance-wise, musically, everything across the board for that material to be effective out of its normal or original state. You need to nail it. And I unfortunately think that there were a lot of those aspects that were not nailed.
I will give them there was a few things that were nailed though.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely agreed.
More things perhaps that weren't, but lots of things that were.
Let me say right off the bat, and let me make sure I get these names right, the two things that floored me.
Are you talking performances? Or
Performances. Kindergarten Boyfriend.
Taylor Ann Powers, is that her name? Mm-hmm. I fell in love with Martha on that stage.
I almost cried.
Yeah.
That was and I literally almost cried.
Yeah,
that was the
beautiful
best
song.
thing.
But she also rocked the hell out
Her
of it.
performance was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I needed that so much.
Also, the Heathers that sang that one about the boat.
Yeah.
Lene.
Lifeboat. Also fantastic.
Yeah.
For me, those were the two moments that made everything that were worth a ticket price by themselves.
And I'm also going to give Katie Hurd props. She was perfect.
Yeah, Katie Hurd was great.
And
Katie
her
Hurd was
role
great.
as that Heather was just.
Yeah.
I mean, and shout out to Amanda Kraft too. She's kind of always. She's so consistent that I sometimes don't mention her, but she's just always solid. You know.
Right. I guess part of the plot. Can you explain the plot? I feel like you'd be better at it than me.
Explain the plot?
Yeah.
Basically, there's it's kind of a mean. It was the original Mean Girls. It's a pretty fair thing to say.
Yeah.
That there's three girls who rule the school because they're the popular girls. They're the Heathers, and Veronica's character tries to. Well, she sells her soul in order to be one of them, and then shit goes down because of the consequences of that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she also falls in love kind of with that.
The bad boy.
With
who
a bad
starts
boy.
killing people.
Psychopath?
Yeah, a psychopath who starts killing people to
Does
make her
Maverick
problems
is that
better.
psychopath?
Yeah, is that Maverick Hewitt?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a friend of
Who was
David's.
very
That'll
good.
be a great kid.
Yeah.
Really, really good kid.
Yeah, really good performance. But here's what I'm going to say about the singing, and the reasons why I liked Martha and Lene, Taylor and Lene so much is because those singers I felt so awful for most of the show because I will put money on the fact that they did not hear themselves properly. They had lav mics for the leads, and the band was in another room, which is not a bad thing to do. And they clearly went the direction of having a monitor so they could still see their conductor. A side note, it doesn't make a lot of sense to have the woodwinds in the same room as the drums. You're not with overhead mics, you're not going to hear them, and I didn't. At intermission, I went, "Oh, there's a violin," because there was no way I heard that at all through the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress. From the singers, I guarantee those two small wedges on the front of the stage were so they could just hear the band. And to make those singers sing that kind of belt as high as you can material, which because it's a modern musical, and most of the music is great, but the fact that those singers had to do that without being able to hear themselves, what happens is you get singers who sound pushed and forced and go out of tune like on the drop of a hat, which happened to Maverick sometimes, and I felt bad for him. I think he's got a better voice. And Brenna, I adore Brenna Folger, and it sometimes sounded like she was not able to sing the part, and I that breaks my heart to say that because I know how good Brenna is.
Mhm.
But I feel
Agreed.
like singers sound bad when they can't hear themselves.
Right.
And the fact that Taylor Ann and Lene made their songs so technically gorgeous at the same time as acting and not being able to hear themselves, the fact that they made it seem like they could hear
testament to
themselves
them.
is a testament to their skill.
sure. Yeah.
But those singers should not have had to do that. And that's really harsh.
Yeah.
But the fact that you made them go through a tech week and performances with no monitors to hear themselves properly, that's not cool.
There were a lot of technical issues that were bothersome, including the few mics that they did have not getting ever turned on time. Not one single time was it turned on. Now I'm sure that it has gotten better. We saw it opening weekend. At least I hope it has gotten better. But this was the second night.
Mhm.
Kinks should have been ironed out by then. There wasn't a mic turned on at the right time ever. And there was all sorts of other things. A gunshot that sounded like someone just going into a microphone. That's not necessary. There's a lot of silly little things that I can pick on that really kind of pulled me out of the reality of this show.
Mhm.
That being said, the effort of this cast
Oh, and the performances and the acting,
the dedication,
were outstanding.
There were some dark moments that really yanked on my soul, you know, and there were some really light, fun moments that really affected me that way. But I feel like all of that gets lost, or at least muddied, in a lot of these other little problems that are just kind of floating around the show.
Yeah. Well, also I know we are really being hard on the technical aspects, but the lighting made the set look awesome. But sometimes I couldn't see people's faces.
Yeah.
Like in the love song, I could only see one of them, and then they would turn and, I can see the other one now. But I'm pretty sure that was not intentional. I mean, we just lost faces sometimes.
Yeah.
Lost your nodding.
Well,
you mentioned good lighting with Todd Van Basten and Liz Klein, and I am going to nod my head yes.
I am.
It's great.
Yeah.
I am only bringing this up because you mentioned that.
Mhm.
There was one person with stage makeup on. That was legit stage makeup, but it's for like super summer stage makeup. And so it was a little too much, and then there was a bunch of people with none, which created that washed out kind of look under those bright white lights. So a happy medium in there. And this is, again, one of those details that you need to look at, because for me the success of a show is all based on the details. And again, it's like, why is one person so obviously made up and the rest of them are not? And, that's kind of my thing. So, but I definitely think it's worth. And is it over? No, there's one weekend left.
No, they run 2 more weekends.
2 more weekends
to the
left.
end of the
Fantastic.
month.
Listen, there's great performances in the show, and it is a lot of fun.
If the technical stuff was tightened up, I wouldn't be so upset. But as a singing person as well, it really, really makes me sad when people don't understand that. Like, to me, that's just harmful to.
Well, it's not taking care of them and their voices, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I work with a band, and the hardest thing is when they can't hear, and they're vocal heavy. So when the boys can't hear themselves, it's really, really hard for them and hard on their voices.
Yeah,
absolutely,
it's really difficult.
Absolutely, these, you know what? I feel like the capacity to make for this to be an amazing show is there.
Yeah.
But they haven't necessarily been given the proper tools,
Mhm.
and that's the frustrating thing for me. So.
Well, they're being set up to fail, and I think that's just the injustice of that bothers me a lot. So
and
much
especially
that I
knowing the capabilities of everyone involved.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah.
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 Well, cool. Go see it though. Go see it. The Onyx Theater.
Any other?
Anybody else?
We need to add in.
No. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for us then.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it. Now we do pizza and have rehearsal.
I'm Ben.
I got
next.
Oh, Anthony has something to say.
I was just gonna say I got through an entire show without doing a single groan-inducing pun.
Yay!
Which we talked about before, because even I shook my head at what you said before the show.
Yeah, I know.
What did you say before the show?
It doesn't matter.
Well, he'll ruin it.
I ruined my odds.
Oh!
It's okay.
Well,
that wasn't even a pun. We were trying to groan. It wasn't even a pun. We're bad. I'm Karalyn.
We'll start again. I'm Ben.
I'm Max.
I'm Karalyn.
I'm Ross.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Natalie.
I'm Rebecca.
And
Support the arts. Hey, who are you?
I'm David Wade.
And I'm
Wait,
Wade.
no.
oh, bye.
If I were Kirk Douglas and you were a sea lion, I would play you a song on a submarine. We'd have lots of fun and we'd fall in love, and then we would listen to the Love Tap Show.